After continually traveling the world for 6 years, wandering through 30 different countries, these are my top 10 places to visit in 2022. If it is okay, I will show you picture with two as my partner, Dan and I travel the world. My name is Chang of Hover Venture. Nice to meet you. Mexico is one of the most colorful places in the world. Whether you are at the beach, a colonial era city in the mountain, or exploring ancient ruins, you will always be surrounded by color. In Mexico, you need to visit Chichén Itzá. Chichén Itzá is an ancient Maya city estimated to be well over 1,500 years old. It's on the Yucatan Peninsula located about 194 kilometers from the resort town of Cancun. It is thought to have been a religious, military, political, and commercial center that was home to 35,000 people at the peak. People show up there in about 550 AD because of easy access to water in the limestone formation known as cenote. My favorite is the tallest one called Kukulcán Pyramid, which stands close to 100 feet tall. Stand at the base in front of the stair and clap your hand. You will hear the encore of Quetzalcoatl, Mayan god, which was in charge of wind and rain. The Mayan priests knew the solar system and knew the day and time that the shadow of the Quetzal god would appear on the side of the temple. This superior knowledge allowed the educated priests control the common farm for centuries. Chichén Itzá was named a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1988, and in 2007 it was voted in global survey as one of the new 7 wonders of the world. Nearby places to visit is Puerto Morelos, a fishing village on the coast of the Caribbean Sea between Playa del Carmen and Cancun. This village has beautiful white sand beaches and the coral reef for the best snorkeling. It feels more authentic than other towns in the area. The next one, we are going to Colombia, one of the most striking colonial-era walled cities in the America, lying on the east coast of Colombia in the Caribbean Sea. The romantic 400-year-old Cartagena has an impressive 13-kilo fortified stone wall that was built by Spain to protect the city from the pirate attacks. But the real attraction is strolling along the cobblestone street while enjoying the sight and sound of the restored, colorful colonial building and the street musicians playing and dancing in the courtyard. Make sure to record your memory with the picture of you standing between the foot lady. Wander 5 minutes over to Gethsemane, the bohemian neighborhood known for artistic type, hippie, backpacker, tattoo artists, and buzzard hostel. Make sure to bring your camera and photograph some of the most interesting street art in the world. Colombia is also famous for its high country that has ideal for growing coffee and cocoa bean, the chief Colombia export. But we were most impressed by the kindness of Colombia. While in Rio Negro, Colombia, we were wandering around town on New Year Eve. We were invited to join a New Year Eve party in our neighborhood while we walked by. We felt welcome, so we joined the drinking, singing, and dancing. This is one of the unforgettable memories in my life. The next one is El Valle de Antio, Panama. El Valle de Antio is a cool mountain town just a few hours drive west from Panama City. Just a short ride down winding road from El Valle de Antio is Sella La Silla, or in English, that is the 𝐿 Mountain. There are 360 views from the summit of rolling green hills that drop down to the Pacific Ocean and sunny wild landscape in all directions. The climb is not challenging, but if you are afraid of height, the drop-off along the side of the trail will have you thinking about each step. Panama is sandwiched between Colombia on the east and Costa Rica on the west. Panama is most well known for the man-made waterway, connecting the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. Watching massive ships loading with stacks of cargo containers grinding quietly through the lock of the Panama Canal proved the enormity of the human invasions. Don't forget to visit San Blas Island where the series The Money Heist was made. The tribe nations of Panama consists of 365 islands, only 50 which are inhabited by the Guna, an original culture of Panama where you can get to embrace the local custom and cuisine. Next up is 𝐻𝐶𝐻 volcano height in Guatemala. The Fuego volcano in Guatemala erupts several times per hour. It is one of the most active volcanoes in the world. We hiked about 7 hours to arrive at the campsite on 𝐻𝐶𝐻 mountain right next to Fuego volcano. It was daytime when we arrived, and all we could see and hear was a rumbling volcano and smoke flying into the sky while some rock tumbling down the side. It feels like you are in the crowd on your way to heaven, but you will never be close to death until you are dead. But once the sun fell below the horizons, we began to see that it was lava rolling down the side of the volcano and shooting out into the sky. We slept in our tents at 4,000 feet while we watched the red mountains lava fly into the sky throughout much of the night. This experience of being this close to the active volcano was a once-in-a-lifetime experience. About 30 minutes from the trail head for the 7-hour hike is Antigua, Guatemala. It is the most beautiful and well-preserved colonial-era city in Central America and the former capital of Guatemala. The capital was moved to Guatemala City in 1773 when an earthquake destroyed many of the older buildings. Luckily, many have been restored to their former glory. The next one is Machu Picchu, Peru. Machu Picchu is one of the new 7 Wonders of the World voted by Global Survey in 2007 and the most visited tourist attractions in Peru, since it was never discovered or planted by the Spanish colonialists. It has since become a symbol of Inca Empire. It was built around 1450 AD and was designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1983. We were on the first bus in the morning, so we were able to watch the sunrise hit the Temple of the Sun. We were surprised to learn that this was the only day of the year that this happened. The winter solstice, June 21st to June 24th. Machu Picchu is one of those places where the picture blows your mind and encourages you to go, but you don't get the full essence of its energy until you are walking through the temple and experiencing its magnificence created by the surrounding mountains. I have to say, we were lucky in our travels. We witnessed the most important celebrations in Peru. All the Peruvians and the world came to nearby Cusco for the great celebrations of Inti Raymi, This is considered the most important celebrations in honor of the main god of the Inca, the sun. Besides the famous well-known Machu Picchu, the Nazca Line are one of the highlights in my Peru trip. The Nazca Line are 2,000 years old series of large ancient geographs located on Nazca Desert in the south of Peru. They are one of the most difficult mysteries in archaeology. Some drawings depict animals, plants, and imaginary figures. There are also geometric figures several kilometers long. We got to see them from a small aircraft flying a few thousand feet above. It is hard to imagine creating such perfect line with versions only at ground level. That is why some believe that aliens lived here ages ago. Others believe they were part of religious ceremony related to astronomy, understood by locals well ahead of their European contemporaries. The next one is the first human zoo on the planet, Galapagos Island in Ecuador. Galapagos was a place with reverence for animals. I have known about Galapagos as the place when Darwin formed his theory of evolution, but I was surprised to see the significance of preserving the natural habitats of the species here. The Galapagos Island, in fact, is the first human zoo on the planet. The animals are allowed to roam freely, but human access to the land is limited so as to preserve the natural habitats for the animal. Are the Galapagos expensive? Yes or maybe. But it depends on how you travel the Galapagos. We traveled to 4 islands by land travel, with ferry between islands and single-day boat tour. We did not travel by any overnight or weekly boat cruise, so we saved thousands and spent 90 days there. We are lucky enough to witness the blue-footed booby mating dance. The tour guide said we were lucky because the blue-footed mating season had already passed. The bright sharp blue color looked so unreal to me. On the any town of the Galapagos Island, we see the sea lion just lying on the bench. During the night, the sea animals are attracted by the light under the pier. We enjoy seeing baby shark, mountain rail, colorful fish, and sea turtle swimming under the light. The giant tortoise also is a main attraction in the Galapagos. You can visit the sanctuary or you will just see them running in the wild. We met a lot of them while we were cycling in Isla Isabela. That is an amazing part of the Galapagos Islands, to see the giant tortoise in the wild. The next one is we were heading to Southeast Asia, Cambodia, and Angkor Wat. Angkor Wat is the largest temple complex in the world. The complex spans 402 acres and is dedicated to Hindu god Vishnu by King Surya Varman II of the Khmer Empire in 12th century AD. The surrounding Angkor city may have been the most populated city in the world when the empire fell in the late 15th century. The empire lasted about 700 years until it was evident in the 15th century at the beginning of Cambodia's Dark Ages. The Dark Ages last for several hundred years. Knowledge of the empire was only rediscovered when translated from the Sanskrit written in the stone on the temple wall. In 1860, a Frenchman found Angkor Wat and wrote a book about it. In his book, he said he discovered it, but then admitted there were people living on the ground upon his arrival. That reminds me of how people say Columbus discovered America, where 7 million people live when he arrived. Satellite image showed that Angkor Wat was indeed a very large city, the size of modern-day London. Researchers have verified that Angkor Wat was much larger and more sophisticated than any city in Europe at the time. Satellite image removes preserved vegetation and uncover the evidence of human. As many as 1 million people were living there. This would make it the largest city in the world during the 13th century. I am providing the link to a 3-day itinerary in case you want to visit Angkor Wat in 2022. While we're still in Southeast Asia, let's head over to Georgetown, Penang, Malaysia. Georgetown is the colonial era center of island of Penang. The British built many of the colonial era buildings in Georgetown, but Penang life and culture have been influenced by Chinese immigrants over the last few hundred years or so. There is 3 major groups in Malaysia are Malay, Chinese, and India. Georgetown is a major attraction for both Malaysian and international tourists. The 3 things that you must do in Georgetown are walking around, enjoying the colonial era architecture, eating the magnificent culturally integrated food, and going on one of the street art tours, either on your own or in a group tour. We have the free street art tour in Dan channel, which is vagabondbuddha.com. You are free to use it. Make sure to grab one of the local buses to check out our beach and Buddha tour. All the information in vagabondbuddha.com. While you are in Penang, consider grab a flight up to Kuala Lumpur to visit one of our favorite cities in the world. There you can see the colorful Batu Caves Indian temple, the world's tallest twin tower, Petronas Tower, and Kuala Lumpur main shopping and nightlife district. Changkat Street is a nightlife street full of restaurants and bar. Don't forget to sample the street food in Jalan Alau. The next one is Hoi An, Vietnam. Historically, Hoi An was one of the most successful seaports on the trade route around Southeast Asia for about 400 years old, from 1500s to 1980. So ancient beautiful restored home and temple line the street of Hanoi. Because of the previous state, Hoi An have become one of the most visited sites in Vietnam for local and international tourists. Because of the new wealth caused by tourists, Hoi An have some of the best food you will experience in all of Vietnam, both local and international food, including reasonable priced delicious street food. Because of its historical importance and restorations, Hoi An was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It has been occupied by humans for about 2,000 years. Hoi An is undeniable magical as you spend hours walking along its street and bridge, restaurants, coffee shop, museum, and traditional art and craft exhibit. And don't forget to visit the nearby beach, which is just 10-minute taxi ride away. If you have limited time in Vietnam, Hoi An should be at or near the top of your list. The last one is the most beautiful island in the world, Palawan, Philippines. Palawan Island is famous for its white sand beaches, coral reef, and limestone formations, with jagged sharp edges that point up into the heavens. These features are most evident on the north of Palawan in a place such as El Nido and Coron. El Nido Sea, the most visited because of island tours that run daily from its white sand shore. But you can also jump on a scooter dry north about 20 minutes to Napang Beach to enjoy the favorite beach frequented by locals for its white sand beaches, turquoise water, and cheaper beer. We have a video that teaches you how to save money in Napang Beach. The link will be in my YouTube descriptions. We were also lucky to join the Tao expeditions for 5 days and 4 nights, boating from El Nido to Coronth. Link to our video provided. This is once-in-lifetime experience. We got to admire the beauty of the remote islands, world-class Filipino fusion cuisine created by Tao Lost Boy. We slept in the beautiful bamboo hut with salty ocean breeze. Lot of laughter and drinking games. Filipino playing acoustic music and sing the night away. They spent snorkeling in hidden reef with the captain dog watching until we all returned safely when the first mate sound the conch shell. This is my travel guide to visit in 2022. Let me know in the comments below where you want to travel this year. This is Chang from Hover Venture. I left Malaysia in 2017 with my partner Dan of vagabondbuddha.com. We travel the world and teach people where they can retire cheap in the paradise. Dan have about 200 reports for people interested in retire all over the world. His reports are on vagabondbuddha.com. As we travel, I focus on teaching you about the best street food in the world. I have YouTube video playlists that teach the best street food by country. To see my playlist by country, look in the note below this YouTube video. I hope you found this video helpful. Thank you so much for watching. This is Chang from Hover Venture, and we will see you in the next video. Bye bye!